After studying this module, you shall be able to learn about ICT, its history and its importance, learn about growth of global and Indian ICT industry, learn about India's leapfrogging hypothesis, know about the benefits and practical problem with the introduction of ICT. Technology enthusiastic believed that ICT will transform every aspect of the world. Yes, they were right. Tremendous ICT advancement has powered the globalization. Youth are among the first one who take up the advantages of new developments in ICT. In learning and adopting ICTs, new technology, person's age is the most important factor as compared to income, education and profession. National policy and regulations shape the development of ICT industry and diffusion of its products and services. Today, ICT is such an integral part of the whole world's economic development that it cannot be separated from one's life. ICT have given boost to other sectors also. Tourism, education, transportation, insurance and banking are few other sectors which are benefited directly with ICT industry growth. What is ICT? Information and communication technology is a field which combines together the field of science, computers and technology. It includes computer, software and hardware, mobile phones and telecommunication, web and internet, wireless and wired network and so on. As per UNDP Human Development Report of 2001, ICT involves innovation in microelectronics, computing hardware and software, and telecommunication and optoelectronics, microprocessor, semiconductors, fiber optics. ICT is a general purpose technology which can be used by all. It will be very narrow approach if we see ICT as a thing with one head and one tail, rather it has many facets. ICT has two sides. First side is the supply side of the economy where ICT goods and services are produced. Second side is that side of economy where these ICT applications are put into use. Businesses, governments, households and students uses these applications. History of information technology. History of information technology goes back to 1943 ENIAC, that is Electronic Numerical Integrator and Calculator proposal. Then in 1945, John von Neumann published his paper on EDVAC, that is Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Computer. This paper was pioneer in discussing the stored program concept. It worked as a blueprint for today's computer architecture. Then in 1973, Bob Metcalfe invented Ethernet. In 1993, CERN made the World Wide Web available to the world free of charge. Until 1980s, computer-related activities were limited only to the interactions between person and computer. A major change in the scenario comes when computers were connected to LAN, that is Local Area Network, and WAN, that is Wide Area Network. Vast and distributed networks of computers generated large amount of digital data. This gave rise to new field known as data mining. Now companies came up focusing on one IT component as their working area. For example, Dell in PCs, that is personal computers, Microsoft in operating systems, Intel for semiconductors, and Oracle for databases. Now creation and sharing of information was very easy. All you need was the access to internet. Internet connected the whole world in one network. IT has made the world so small that within few seconds information can be transferred in any part of the globe. Finally came a new phase in IT evolution which gave leap to the growth of qualitative and quantitative data. Now, a new technique of managing and delivering big IT data come in known as cloud. Importance of ICT industry. Today, ICT has become the foundation stone in all sectors, whether it is developed economy or developing economy. The reasons for its immense importance are as follows. First, ICT improves productivity by reducing the transaction cost. Second is, ICT provides immediate connectivity with anyone, anywhere in the world. Visuals, videos or data, anything can be shared within short span of time. This increases the transparency, accuracy and efficiency and saves lots of time. Third, ICT industry channelizes the information and knowledge available in every field. Fourth, with the help of ICT technology, travel cost has declined considerably in business. Meetings can be conducted through video conferencing anytime in any part of the world. ICT is a good and cheap substitute of communication as compared to the physical travel. Fifth, ICT provides quick and easy access to otherwise unavailable goods and services at distant places. Sixth, due to the growth of ICT industry, producers have wider choices of geographical marketplace. Seventh, ICT helps in managing large amount of data by storing them in clouds. Cloud computing helps the large enterprises to store and process their data at third-party data centers. This data is easily accessible from anywhere, anytime. Eighth, ICT allows people to connect with their families when they have to reallocate to other cities or countries for a good job or career opportunities. Ninth, ICT acts as a change agent. New inventions and developments of new physical tool or mental tool create both opportunity and challenge for the society. 10th, demand for ICT professionals is skyrocketing, which makes scientists and IT engineers globally mobile. When these personnel comes from developing countries, their global dispersal creates diaspora, which helps in creating valuable networks of business contracts, finance knowledge and skills transfer for their home country. All these reasons shows that ICT is the important component in micro and macro level growth. At micro level, those firms who use ICT have high productivity, faster sales growth, faster employment growth and wider reach to the customers. Various studies shows that at macro level, use of ICT and investment in mobile telecommunication have positive impact on GDP in developed as well as in developing countries. ICT increases the individual economic position by providing him more growth opportunities. Individual can learn more, increase his knowledge, apply for better jobs online, invest their disposable income in high returns investment opportunities. They can expand their business online and reach large number of customers. Next is the growth of global ICT industry. Technological progress has worked as a catalyst in economic growth. Information and communication technology has reshaped the world economies, businesses, governments, regulations, and even societies. Internet has and will likely remain most dominating factor of the growth throughout the global economy. In developing countries, by connecting with transformative power of information and communication technologies, governments, businesses, and people all are marching towards success. Governments are trying to expand and provide good public service, businesses and strengthening themselves, and people are increasing their social network. More than 75% of the world population is using cell phones today. With increasing use of cell phone, new industry and services are developing. For example, money transfer and bill payment through mobile phones, etc. In developing countries, ICT can help to eliminate the critical obstacles to economic growth. ICT alone cannot bring developments. It needs good governmental policies, a good infrastructure facilities, that is uninterrupted power supply, skilled labor force, technical knowledge, affordable connectivity network, supportive regulatory framework, and economic conditions. Governments play a significant role in the development of ICT. Atkinson and Stewart in 2013 draws up a fact sheet presenting the statistical data of growth and benefits of information and communication technology industry. Main points of this fact sheet are as under. Information and communication technology, that is IT, creates jobs which are very high paying. Over 5,65,000 IT-related jobs in all industry were created in US between 2001 and 2011. B. In US, IT jobs grew more than 95 times faster than the employment as a whole. C. IT jobs grew even during recessions and even after its outcome. D. In 2010, 5.8% employees were employed in IT-related jobs in OECD countries. E. In OECD countries, employment in IT-related jobs shows a growth of 18% between 1996 and 2008 as compared to the employment in the business service, which shows a growth of only 12%. F. Internet creates 2.6 jobs for every job which is eliminated due to its usage. ICT comprises significant share in GDP. A. In 2011, contributions of IT industry in US economy was $650 billion. B. Global output from IT industry is $2.8 trillion in 2010, which is more than double from $1.2 trillion in 1995, according to 6% of global GDP. 6. The internet industry contributes 3.4% to the GDP across the large economies, which comprises of 70% of global GDP. ICT increases productivity and GDP growth. A. Due to IT industry, US productivity growth was 75% during 1995 to 2002. B. Despite constituting just 4% of US GDP, IT has accounted for 20% US GDP growth since 1995. C. Over the last 2 decades, in terms of annual GDP, IT has made US economy over $2 trillion larger. D. From 2006 to 2011, the internet alone accounted for 21% of GDP growth across 13 leading economies, that is Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Italy, Japan, Korea, Russia, Sweden, the UK and the United States. E. During 1996 to 2008, the value added by IT services in OECD countries grew by 115%. F. During 2006 and 2010, productivity increased by 3 times for those corporations who invested in IT more as compared to those corporations who invested less. G. IT workers contribute 3 to 5 times more in productivity in comparison to non-IT workers. H. 10% increase in broadband penetration adds between 0.25 and 1.38 percentage points to the country's GDP growth. I. Broadband adoption increases the productivity of firms in information industry approximately by 20%, of service firms approximately by 10%, and of manufacturing firms by 5%. J. In EU countries, labor productivity is higher where employees are linked with broadband. ICT helps to build companies with high growth. In 2011, Incorporation 5,000 ranking of fastest growing companies in US, almost 1/4, that is 1,140, were from IT industry. In the United States, the UK, Germany, France and Canada, small firms, those adopted internet business solutions, earns 9% more revenues as compared to the other small firms. ICT creates new sectors and new ways of doing business. A. In US, retail sales through e-commerce increased by 19.8% annually between 2002 to 2011 in comparison to the total retail sales, which increased only by 3.2%. B. Mobile apps came up as a new sector of jobs. In 2012, there were 4,66,000 US jobs related to mobile apps. In 2011, $20 billion of revenue was generated through mobile apps economy in US. C. In OECD countries, around 30% of the people buy goods and services over internet. More than 50% do same in Australia, Denmark, Korea, Norway, Netherlands and the UK. D. Around 40% of the people in OECD countries use banking services on the internet. E. In OECD countries, around 50% of the internet users use internet for formalized education-related activities. F. In 2010, in OECD countries, around 50% of internet users were actively using social networking sites. G. In 2010, 66% of OECD business owners used internet for returning the completed forms to the public authorities. H. In 2010, expenditure on internet advertising accounting for 14% of the global advertising expenditure. I. In 2010, there were 560 million of registered Skype users worldwide. ICT works as a key source for competitive advantage. From 1996 to 2008, total global trade in IT products increased more than 10% annually from $1.2 trillion to $4 trillion. As of 2010, US IT industry holds 26% share of the global IT industry. In 2009, OECD countries' exports of IT were more than $130 billion. Next is ICT drives innovation. If a firm uses IT-based technologies, then firm's probability of developing new products and innovation increases. In Japan, European Union and the United States, IT sector is the largest sector making investments in research and development. In European Union, IT industry accounts for about 25% of all business expenditures in research and development. In 2008, US Patent and Trademark Office granted 54% patents to the IT-related works. Growth of Indian ICT industry. India entered the software industry when TCS, that is Tata Consultancy Services, entered in the IT business in 1970. Liberalization was the major factor in India for the growth of ICT industry. Due to the growth of ICT facilities in India, demand from foreign sources in IT sector has increased. Due to the high number of educated youth and cost advantages, many companies from developed world have started outsourcing their certain services to the Indian companies. This has increased the export of services from India to $151.5 billion in 2013 and 14 as compared to $4.9 billion in 1992. ICT have stimulated the service sector growth in India. Increasing use of internet, expansion of mobile services, and that too at very competitive price, increased usage of credit cards, debit cards and ATMs, online booking of railway and airline tickets, etc. are all due to the growth of ICT industry in India. Applications of ICT is creating new opportunities by improving services. In 1980s, Indian IT sector produced few million dollars of goods and services. The concentration of IT industry in India is among three southern states, namely Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. Four metropolitan cities, namely New Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Bengaluru, accounts for 90% of the IT-based software development and export activity. Indian software engineers get very quickly jobs in USA. Due to the liberalization policies, Indian IT industry has grown at a very fast pace. Some economists are of the opinion that Indian case of IT industry can be a good model for other developing countries to study and apply. Facts and figures. India passed Information Technology Act 2000 in order to facilitate electronic transaction and electronic commerce. Its main aim was to prevent computer crime and promote electronic documentation, etc. As per NASSCOM, India's IT BPM, that is Business Process Management exports, will grow 12 to 14% and will likely touch nearly US $100 billion in the financial year 2015. As per World Bank, World Development Indicators 2014, India's ICT service exports were 65.9% of the total service exports in 2012. Due to the outsourcing of services in India from foreign countries, export of services from India has increased to $151.5 billion in 2013 and 14 as compared to just $4.9 billion in 1992. During the last 2 decades, the size of the Indian ITES, that is Information Technology Enabled Services, industry has grown considerably. In 1995-96, it was just $1.1 billion, which has grown to $119 billion in 2014 and 15. The main reason for this growth was the export, which was $0.6 billion in 1995-96, which has grown to $98 billion in 2014 and 15. Total IT services and software employment was 30 lakhs in 2012 and 13. The indirect employment due to ICT sector is approximately 95 lakh in several other ancillary industry. And ITES industry's contribution to GDP accounted for 8% in 2012 and 13 as compared to 1.2% in 1997 and 1998. US is the most important export market for India's software. Its share in India's total software exports is 62% in 2011 and 12. ICT industry has created a global image of India as a business destination by creating a new model of global 24/7 service delivery. Benefits of ICT industry to India. First, employment generation. ICT industry has helped in employment generation. A whole new range of jobs have been created to cater IT industry in the city of Bengaluru and Hyderabad. Software developers, hardware engineer, hardware sellers and after-sales services have opened up their offices in Bengaluru to cater the IT industry. Second, regional development. ICT has helped in the regional development of India. ICT has given rise to the other ancillary industries also. In Bengaluru and Hyderabad, there has been a boom in the transport industry as many big companies provide pick and drop facilities to their employees. Same is the case of hospitality industry and the computer maintenance industry. Third, availability of information. ICT has made information available very easily by reducing the barriers to access information in India. Today, almost all government departments had their website which provides all the information to the users within few seconds. Fourth, give boost to the other fields. ICT have given boost to the education and healthcare industry in India. Today, it's very easy to get consultation from the specialized person in their field. Fifth, improve transparency and accountability. ICT has improved the transparency and accountability in India through e-governance. E-governance gives easy access to the information to the common man. Next is India's leapfrogging hypothesis. India have followed very different pattern of development. As per the development theory, at first stage of development, labor-intensive, low-capital goods are produced like toys, shoes and clothing. By exporting these goods, wealth is created. In the second stage of development, investment is made in heavy industries, for example, shipbuilding and steel. In third stage of development, high-value consumer goods like computers, TVs and washing machines, etc. are produced. In the fourth stage of development, focus is on the production of innovation-based goods and services, that is ICT technologies, bioinformatics and pharmaceuticals, etc. This path is normally followed by countries in order to make them developed. From the perspective of development theory, India's development is very different. India's leapfrog from a predominantly agricultural economy to a directly service-dominated economy by skipping the intermediate stages. Reasons for India's such tremendous growth in ICT industry is the large pool of IT professionals, low labor cost, large English-speaking educated labor force, absence of barriers at entry level, ease in setting up of the back offices, good infrastructural facilities in places like in New Delhi, Hyderabad and Bengaluru. Next is the practical problem with introduction of ICT. There are a number of problems associated with the introduction of ICT. These problems are relevant in case of poor countries. These problems are as follows. First, the very first concern is about lack of financial resources and ICT resources. Actually, these countries neither have adequate funds nor ICT resources which are necessary for the economic development, hence they remain poor. Second, the second concern is that these ICT applications are too expansive for underdeveloped nations. Third, the third concern is the language. Mostly ICT softwares are available in English language. There are more than 3,000 languages in India. But ICT products and mostly websites on the internet are in English or they provide few other popular languages only. Fourth, ICT cannot be seen as a remedy to overcome the issues like unemployment and social exclusion. ICT can help to reduce them to some extent, but it cannot remove them completely. Let us now summarize what we have done in this module. Information and communication technology is a field which combines the field of science, computers and technology together. History of information technology goes back to 1943 ENIAC proposal. A major change in the scenario comes when computers were connected to LAN and WAN. ICT is the important component in micro and macro level growths. It increases the productivity, channelizes the information, provides immediate connectivity, provide easy access to knowledge and information, provided the wider choice of the geographical marketplace, and due to the ICT, travel cost has also declined considerably. ICT manages large data, connect families, and act as a change agent. Information and communication technology has reshaped the world economies, businesses, governments, regulations, and even the societies. In developing countries, ICT can help to eliminate the critical obstacles to the economic growth. Global output from IT industry is $2.8 trillion in 2010, accounting for 6% of global GDP. In 2010, expenditure on internet advertising accounted for 14% of the global advertising expenditure. Liberalization was the major factor in India for the growth of ICT industry. The concentration of IT industry in India is among 3 southern states, namely Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. Due to the outsourcing of services in India from foreign countries, export of services from India has increased to $151.5 billion in 2013 and 14 as compared to $4.9 billion in 1992. ICT industry has helped the India in employment generation, regional development. ICT has improved the transparency and accountability. Problems associated with the introduction of ICT are lack of financial resources and ICT resources, too expansive, language, and ICT cannot be the remedy for all the social problems.